Hello everyone, this is Thomas from Zaxcom, and today I'm here to teach you a little bit more about your Nomad mixer recorder. And in this video, I'm going to teach you about the ZaxNet capabilities built inside of the Nomad. As you may already know, the Nomad is in a completely different category than any other mixer recorder on the market. And one of the reasons is because it has an IFB transmitter built inside of the machine. No longer do you have to connect an IFB transmitter like a Comtech system or Electro R1A in order to send reference audio to Video Village or to a boom operator on set. Instead, this transmitter is built right inside. And not only does it have the ability to send broadcast quality audio to these ERX receivers, it also has the ability to send timecode and remote control information to our transmitters. So, if you haven't already done so, let's go ahead and turn on our Nomad so we can get into the menu and set it up. But before we do so, just make sure that if you have a Nomad that has these capabilities, that you screw on the included IFB transmitter antenna before enabling these features. Once your antenna is connected, go ahead and boot up your device. Then, press the menu button. Scroll down all the way to ZaxNet Setup. Now, starting at the top of this menu, the first option says IFB mode. Yours should be automatically set to off when you get it from the factory. In order to turn it on, you push the button and use the scroll wheel. You have three options: receive, transmit, and transmit plus receive. Now, the only one that I'm going to be dealing with in this video is transmit, but know that the Nomad also has the ability to turn the transmitter capabilities off inside of this machine and use it as a receiver. This is a great option if you have a QRX100 with the IFB option inside of it, because you can put it on a camera and transmit reference quality audio back to you to make sure that you're actually recording on the camera. So like I said, in another video, I'm going to teach you how to use the Nomad as a receiver so you can monitor off of the camera as well as other cameras. But for now, let's go ahead and put the transmitter on TX. Now you may notice that if you try to do this, a window may come up on the screen that tells you to please set your input config to 8 or higher. Now don't worry, this doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It just means that due to processing power inside of the Nomad, you have to set up a configuration page before you can actually transmit. So go ahead and select off and scroll down to Input Configure. Now you may know about this menu because we talked about it in a previous version. However, just notice that if you scroll up to Input 8, it will disable your AES inputs but allow you to use the IFB transmitter capabilities of this machine. So go ahead and select 8 and then back out and turn the transmitting back on. The next thing to notice is your transmitter channel. You're going to have to make sure that anything that you're communicating with is set to the same frequency. I have mine set to 2.404. Next is receiving channels. This one I will discuss more in a separate video, but just know that you have the ability to set up multiple receiver frequencies so you can flip back and forth quickly between receiving frequencies to monitor multiple cameras. Next, you have receiver audio gain. You have the ability to amplify or attenuate the signal that is coming in from another IFB 100 or a QRX 100 system. So if you need to turn up your gain or turn it down, use this menu setting. Next, you have transmitter audio gain. You have the ability to attenuate the audio that is going to be sent out of the IFB transmitter of your Nomad. If you need to attenuate the signal, do so here. Next, we have group codes. If you don't know what these are, go ahead and check out the wireless instructional videos on www.zaxcom.com. However, I will give you a little refresher course in the fact that it allows you to set groups to your wireless systems as well as your ERXs. This allows you to make sure that you won't be controlling anybody else's equipment. So for example, if you're working with two mixers that have the exact same equipment, make sure that you are set up in a different group than them. For example, you would be group 1 and they would be group 2. This ensures that when you are sending timecode as well as remote control information to your wireless and your ERX receivers, that you are not messing with their equipment. Next, we have IFB jam mode. This allows us to set up the machine for auto load or auto jam. Go ahead and leave this on auto jam. Next, we have transmitter power. This gives you the ability to turn down the RF output coming out of the Nomad. You have the ability to set it to 0 and then all the way up to 7. I can tell you that you don't necessarily have to run this machine at an output of 7. I personally run mine at 5 and I get anywhere between 50 to 100 feet of range, which is perfect for any type of ENG setup. Next, we have transport commands. You have the ability to control the transport control of your TRX wireless systems. So if you don't want to have your transmitters recording all of the time, you can tell them to slave to the Nomad. So that way when you hit record on your device, it also puts the transmitters into record as well. Next is power roll mode. One of the newest features of the Zaxcom TRX wireless systems is the ability to use something called power roll. What this does is allows your transmitters to conserve battery life by running in a 50 milliwatt mode when you're not rolling. Now, as soon as you hit record on your Nomad, it will send out a signal to all of your transmitters to go ahead and increase the milliwatt output to 125 milliwatts. This means that you will have better range and less dropouts. And once you hit stop, it will roll back to 50 milliwatt. This is going to greatly increase your battery life as well as make sure that the heat of the transmitter doesn't get too hot for your talent. Next, we have IFB test tone. This is just a quick way to send a reference tone to your ERX systems to make sure that you are hearing audio and everything is set up properly. Next is Burn ZaxNet firmware. Now, we discussed this in an earlier video called Updating the Nomad. By going into here, you have the ability to update the software for the ZaxNet capabilities of this machine. If you have any questions about this, please refer to that video. And finally, the IFB debug screen. This is a screen that you're probably never going to have to go into. However, what it does is tells you the state of the machine in terms of the IFB portion. So, for example, if you ever had an issue with your machine, you could contact Zaxcom, and they may tell you to go to this menu. This will tell them the state of the machine and whether or not they can help you over the phone or if you have to send in your machine for service. Well, congratulations. You have now officially set up the ZaxNet capabilities for your Nomad mixer recorder. Now all you have to do is make sure that your TRX wireless systems as well as your ERXs are set to operate and receive on the same frequency as located at the very top of the menu. If you have any questions, please contact us at www.zaxcom.com. Once again, my name is Thomas, and next time I'm going to teach you even more about the ZaxNet capabilities by teaching you about the ZNet button. Thanks for watching.